protest nomination of Loretta Onochie as INEC Commissioner. Again, 2 Zamfara lawmakers defect to APC from the People's Democratic Party. And Group 6 promotion of press freedom in Nigeria. Many thanks for joining us on News Now. I am Oyin Adekunle. The routine Federal Executive Council meeting, usually chaired by the President at the Presidential Villa, did not take place today. Due to the coronavirus safety precautions, the weekly meeting is being done virtually, while ministers who have memos to present and other cabinet members are usually physically present. No official reason was given for the cancellation of the meeting, usually chaired by President Muhammadu Buhari. And the opposition People's Democratic Party took another blow on the floor of the Senate today when Senate President Ahmed Lawan read the resignation letter of 2 senators representing Zamfara North and Zamfara West, Sahabi Yao and Lawali Anka. In separate letters, the Zamfara lawmakers explained that their decision was due to the collapse of the internal democracy in the opposition party, PDP.
Zamfara North Senatorial District, Deputy Minority Whip. Your Excellency, notification of change of political party from the PDP to the APC. I hereby inform Your Excellency and my distinguished colleagues of my decision to move from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Party, the APC. Later from distinguished Senator Lawali Hassan Anka Dan Iya, Chigarin Sarkin Zamfaran Anka, Deputy Chairman Committee on Senate Services, Senator representing Zamfara West Senatorial District. Your Excellency, notification of change of political party from PDP to APC. I wish to inform you of my decision to move from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress, APC. Letter from distinguished Senator Peter Nwobushi. So notice of switch of political party membership from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the All Progressives Congress, APC. I write to respectfully notify Your Excellency and indeed the Senate that I formally joined the All Progressives Congress, APC.
Also, during the Wednesday plenary, Senate President Ahmed Lawan disclosed that the Senate has decided to invite the General Manager of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Mele Kyari, to give more explanation to certain financial and technical details of the Petroleum Industry Bill 2021.
The leadership of the Senate has decided to invite the GMD of the NNPC to come and brief us in a closed session, and the opportunity there will be for those of us who are not members of the Joint Committee, who had interactions with NNPC, DPR, PTDF, the Ministry of Petroleum Resources, etc., will at least hear some of the technical details, the financial details and implications of certain provisions in the bill. That will be maybe for an hour, just for us to listen and where necessary to ask for clarifications so that we are properly briefed and better informed before we come into plenary to consider the report.
Amid the latest defections, the leadership of the People's Democratic Party has not backed down its opposition against the nomination of Loretta Onochie as a National Commissioner of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The party members stormed the National Assembly complex today in a bid to get lawmakers to impress on President Muhammadu Buhari to withdraw Onochie's nomination. Our correspondent, Mary Kanu, has the details.
Top members of the People's Democratic Party, led by its chairman Uche Secondus, converged at the gate of the National Assembly. They have come to amplify the voice of their lawmakers who have earlier kicked against the nomination of presidential aide Loretta Onoche for the position of INEC Commissioner in Delta State. The PDP says Onoche, being a card-carrying member of the All Progressives Congress (APC), cannot be appointed into a position that requires a high level of neutrality.
In a crisis situation like this, on insecurity and economy, what we need from Mr. President is to conduct free and fair elections. That's all. This woman is APC. This woman has joined the APC. She's a card-carrying member of APC. And from Anocha local government, she will pollute the atmosphere at INEC. And she will rig elections. And so the National Assembly, the Senate, should reject her totally.
Before she pollutes the country.
And make sure that we return this country into sanity.
Spokesperson of the party also raised the recent defection of some members of the PDP to APC, insisting that affected lawmakers will be made to vacate their seats.
We are going to retrieve every seat in which a member elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party has decamped to any other party. The essence of politics is contestation for power. There could be instances of contestation in our respective chapters, but to declare a situation of crisis is totally wrong. And even as we speak, our National Working Committee is one. So it will be wrong and absolutely wrong for anybody to canvass a situation that there is crisis. There's no crisis in our party.
The opposition party thereafter handed over its petition addressed to the chairman Senate Committee on INEC to look into its demands. Mary Kanu, TV360, Nigeria.
And to speak more on the Loretta Onoche's nomination, we have legal practitioner Tunji Abdulamin now joins us on the news. Mr. Abdulamin, thank you very much for joining us. Now, what do you make of this nomination by the president? We've seen a lot of petitions, not just from the PDP now, but from other Nigerians and even your colleagues. Is this nomination even in line with the Constitution? Let's start from there.
It is unfortunate that we have the nomination when we have a clear provision of having regard to section 5(1)(a), the 1999 Constitution, and paragraph 14, the third schedule to the Constitution, I am the president nominate Loretta Onoche, who is an aide. The that for you to be of INEC commissioner must be non-partial. In fact, you need not carry that what you need to do is be sympathetic or support that party one way or the other. If that happens, you are not qualified to be an elected commissioner. INEC is an organization, is an agency that will conduct election, and it must be independent. If INEC is not independent, there can be free and fair election. That nomination, to me, is not in line with Constitution, not in line with the president to uphold, because the president can't uphold the provision of the Constitution. But it is against the.
Well, we apologize. We cannot have more of Barrister Tunji Abdulamin there because of network issues. We're moving on now. The Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has urged President Muhammadu Buhari to promote press freedom in the country by publicly condemning all attacks on journalists and media organizations. The group made the recommendation in a policy dialogue and press conference on promoting media freedom in Nigeria, which took place in Ikeja, the Lagos state capital. Our correspondent, Abisola Adebayo, now reports.
In recent times, there has been fears of growing hostility to government critiques and the media in Nigeria. With the latest suspension of Twitter operations in the country and a proposed amendment to the NBC Act and the Nigerian Press Council Act by lawmakers, SERAP says there is an attempt to gag the press.
There has been a wave of harassment on the media, civil society organizations and activists by way of legislations and several bills aimed at curtailing the rights of free speech, association, including internet freedom. Some of these include, we have the antecedents, we've seen them, the hate speech bill, the NGO bill, and the social media bill, which apparently has reared its ugly head again. The action of the government has seriously undermined the ability of Nigerians and other people in the country to freely express themselves in a democracy, and undermined the ability of journalists, media houses, broadcast stations, and other people to freely carry out their professional duties.
Responding to the allegations, the Minister of Information, who was represented at the event, says the government is acting in the best interest of the country and Nigerians.
That the press have not in any way been emasculated or denied their role thereof, and this cannot be gainsaid. The administration of President Muhammad Buhari is totally committed to upholding the sanctity of the Constitution and the observance of the rule of law. It can be posited, therefore, that the administration is not guilty of media repression as being speculated in some quarters. Nobody wants or likes war. But at the same time, if war is being provoked unnecessarily, no responsible government will stay silent and allow the citizens to be ravaged by it.
Stakeholders further urged the presidency to engage the media in order to move the nation to greater heights.
And we also call on the president to publicly condemn all attacks on journalists and media organizations and issue a clear public statement to all government officials on the use of intimidation threats against any member of the press.
I think if there had been enough engagement between the government and the media stakeholders, we wouldn't have come to this level. It's one of the recommendations that there should be more engagement between the government and the media stakeholders.
The proposed NBC Act amendment, if passed, will allow the government to jail or fine journalists who flout any law. Also, the government will determine a code of conduct for media agencies and journalists in the country. Abisola Adebayo, TV360, Lagos.
Owing to the rising insecurity in Ufia community in Benue State, a delegation led by community leaders have appealed to members of the National Assembly to intervene on the matter. Speaking during the visit, the leader of the delegation, Vincent Uloko, drew the attention of Senator Abba Moro to the lingering insecurity in Ado local government, which he acknowledged received interventions from the lawmaker. Moro, while responding, also clamored for state and community policing and also called for concerted efforts through collaboration of the community volunteer guards.
The general trend in Nigeria now is that the orthodox security agencies and agents are finding it increasingly difficult to spread out their resources and to effectively contain the challenges of insecurity. And so, like government has also indicated, we're advocating for some level of community policing, some level of volunteer guards in our various communities in terms of the situation in Benue State, so that a combination of the thinned out security agents and the community volunteers, we should be able to contain the menace of insecurity occasioned by the activities of kidnappers and cultists and armed robbers. And I think if we combine effectively village by village and join efforts with government, we should be able to contain the situation. And of course, as a senator representing the very good people of the Benue South Senatorial District, inclusive of the Ufia community, I will do everything to assist the agencies in containing the situation.
I have inaugurated my local vigilantes, and they are now on ground. We are also working hand in hand with security agents, police and other arms of security to make sure that we support whatever the state and local government are doing.
A federal high court sitting in Lagos has remanded the former vice chairman of Lagos Island local government area, Ashekun Kehinde, in prison custody following his arraignment for allegedly exporting 1,000 kilograms of cocaine. Justice Ayokunle Faji made the order after Kehinde pleaded not guilty to a one-count charge bordering on the offense. Kehinde was arrested on July 7, 2021, or June 7 rather, at the departure hall of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, during the outward clearance of passengers on a Virgin Atlantic Airlines flight from Lagos to London. The celebrated Nigerian artist Nike Okundaye has no doubt weaved a name in the fabric of art creation in the country. In appreciation of her lifetime work of art, the Yaba Art Museum is hosting an archive retrospective on the life of the popular contemporary artist at the Yaba College of Technology. Our correspondent Mojisola Matomi was there and now reports.
The saying, "Art is an expression of life," came to play at the exhibition organized by the Yaba College of Technology to celebrate the works of the iconic master artist Nike Okundaye. Nike art, as she is fondly called, is one of Nigeria's most celebrated art expressionists, attracting art lovers both home and abroad to her gallery.
I must say, like a very, very tiny taste of Mama's studio.
Speaking at the opening of the exhibition, Director of Yaba College of Technology, Obafemi Omokungbe, disclosed that the arts display was possible through the help of an international agency.
It is with the assistance of Fourth Foundation, a whopping sum of $200,000, and together we will do better.
There's no better way to show culture and demonstrate how our culture intertwines with what we do, our social norms, and everything that makes us a people.
The art exhibition, titled Living Blue, was well received by officials of the Yaba Arts Department, students and well-wishers who thronged the exhibition to appreciate the works of art.
One thing that is clear is that Mama Nike has actually made her name in the global village, in the global art village. And it's of utmost importance that we're having her here today.
Having picked on Chief Mrs. Nike Okundaye, it's to even get her, it's not been easy because it's an international figure. And so to get her is like catching the biggest fish in the ocean.
This is my first time at a ceremony of a museum, and then seeing Mama Nike around, it's just mind-blowing. So it changes my perspective of what my school actually is, and it just gives me that feeling that we are on that verge, that road to some great art success.
Before, I was not into this textile thing, but coming to Yaba Tech, learning about textile, it really widened my knowledge.
Appreciating the warm acceptance of her creation, Nike Okundaye charged young women to explore their creative abilities.
It hasn't been easy, but no matter what happens, whatever you do, you just have to have a focus and do it well. And patience is what has taken me to this place today.
While exhibitions like this are few and far between in Nigeria, there is a growing call for governmental support and investment in the nation's creative sector. Mojisola Matomi, TV360, Lagos.
We'll take a break here, but still to come, federal government receives £26.5 million repatriated pension funds. Details of that and more shortly.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, the truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On Digi360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it. Use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
Digi360, dissecting the issues.
Thank you for staying with us on News Now. Here is a quick reminder of some of our top stories tonight. The leadership of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has again voiced its opposition against the nomination of Loretta Onoche as a National Commissioner of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Delta State. The party stormed the National Assembly complex today in a bid to get lawmakers to impress on President Muhammadu Buhari to withdraw Onoche's nomination. We also told you that senators representing Zamfara North and Zamfara West, Saadi Yao and Lawali Anka, have joined their Zamfara central counterpart, Mohammed Gazal, in defecting to the All Progressives Congress. The letter of the resignation from the People's Democratic Party was read on Wednesday's plenary, presided over by Senate President Ahmed Lawan. In case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we're TV360 Online. Russian President Vladimir Putin says he is opposed to mandatory coronavirus vaccinations for Russians, but urged the jab-skeptic population to get inoculated as his country battles a deadly third wave. His comments comes as Russia earlier on Wednesday reported 669 coronavirus deaths over the past 24 hours, a pandemic high of fatalities for the second day in a row. Russia in mid-June saw infections spike in a third wave, driven by the highly transmittable Delta variant first identified in India. Although free jabs have been available since early December, only around 15% of Russia's population have received at least one dose of that, and that's as of Wednesday. Well, we'll take another short break here and return with business stories. Stay with us.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Welcome back, and I'll leave you with Bisola Adebayo standing by for the latest in business. Bisola.
Thank you very much, Oyin. Welcome to Business News. The federal government, through the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, says it has received the sum of 26.5 million euros as repatriated pension funds from Crown Agent Investment Management. The executive director of PTAD, Chioma Ejikeme, in a statement released by Gbenga Ajayi, PTAD's head of corporate communications, disclosed this on Tuesday in Abuja. The PTAD boss says the repatriated pension funds had been under investment with CAIM of the United Kingdom, citing that the funds were approved by the presidency after a series of meetings between the PTAD management, Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, and CAIM. We'll take a pause here and return with Stock Market Review. The equities market maintained Wednesday's positive posture after investors made bargain hunting for some fundamentally sound stocks on the NGX. As a result, the market's main index rose by 0.71%, a really large increase compared to the previous session. Total values of listed equities also went up by 139 billion naira, all thanks to gains from key components of 3 out of the 5 sectors of the major market. Nestle from the consumer goods sector and Ikeja Hotel from the services sector drove the gains today as they topped our gainers list. On the flip side, that's our losers list for the day. BOC Gas and Sovereign Trust Insurance PLC topped our losers list today with a combined 12 kobo loss. Similarly, the overall volume of shares traded today decreased by 6.66% as against the 40.07% uptick recorded in previous session. That's why we have 200 million units of shares valued at over 3 billion naira exchanging hands in 3,522 deals, as you can see right here. Well, Thursday today is the first trading day for July, as well as the beginning of the third quarter and the second half of the year. Investors are, however, keeping their fingers crossed and being optimistic for the remaining part of the year. Moving on now to the global market today, FTSE is in the negative territory as the Bank of England's chief economist predicts that inflation is likely to end the year around 4%, a level which would create the biggest challenge for policymakers since the pound plunged in 1992. The Dow Jones is, however, in the positive territory as it's recording a 0.51% increase. Unfortunately, Japan stocks Nikkei could not manage to keep its head above water as it's in the 0.073% decline. That's all on stock market review. Over to Oyin for the rest of the news.
Thank you very much for that update, Bisola. And on the foreign scene, hundreds of Sudanese protesters took to the streets of major cities on Wednesday to demand the government's resignation over IMF's backed economic reforms seen as too harsh. The protest erupted a day after the International Monetary Fund approved a $2.5 billion loan and debt relief deal that will see Sudan's external debt reduced by about $50 billion. Public discontent has mounted over the reforms that slash subsidies on petrol and diesel, more than doubling their price. Well, it's now time for Entertainment Report on News Now.
Nigerian music star Davido's road manager Abib Uthman, also known as Obama DMW, has been laid to rest. He was buried on Wednesday at Ekpe in Lagos, according to Muslim Rights. Obama DMW reportedly died of suspected heart failure at a hospital in Lekki on Tuesday, June 29th. Until his death, he was survived by his son Abdul, and Obama DMW is the second close associate of Davido, who has died in the last 1 year. In December 2020, Davido's bodyguard Tijani Olamilekan, aka TJ, died after a battle with an illness. Nollywood actress Iyabo Ojo has bagged 2 nominations for the Yoruba Music and Films Awards amid a fallout with Theatre Arts and Movie Practitioners Association of Nigeria. The actress on Tuesday shared a nomination e-flyer on Instagram with the caption, 2 categories, whoever wins, we are all winners. And nominations were in the Best Actress 2020 and 2021 and World Most Relentless Influential Act 2020-2021. Iyabo's nomination is coming days after the Tampan Board of Trustees and the elders of Nigerian motion picture industry sent a stern warning to her and another actress, Nkechi Blessing, over their reckless accusations, abuses and embarrassment against the association and the movie industry as a whole. And that is all that's well for you in the entertainment segment of News Now.
And in sports, the Abia State government has called for an investigation into the attack on Eyimba Football Club players following their goalless draw against home side Plateau United in a Nigeria Professional Football League match on Sunday. The attack left 2 Enyimba players, Dario Olatunji and goalkeeper Sabiru Basadeji, injured. It is not the first case of pitch invasion reported in the MPFL. About 2 weeks ago, the game between Kano Pillars and Aqua United was abandoned due to a pitch invasion after fans protested when the referee ruled out a late goal. Now, sports analyst Jide Olaniran joins us on News Now to shed more light on this. Jide, thank you very much for joining us on the news. Now, you've been in this game for long, but is this a new trend now in Nigeria? Fans just get angry and storm the pitch to attack players when the game is not going in their favor. Now, are you surprised by these regular attacks?
Well, I'm not surprised. Thank you very much for having me on the show. When you look at, we are gradually getting to the end of the season, and everybody will want to do everything to make sure that they win games. From the perspective of the club, the fans who are passionate also want to see their club sides win at all costs. But in the first place, when you look at some of this invasion, they are uncalled for. They are not, because going by the rule by the task force, I think that the federal government task force on COVID-19, fans are not meant to be at the stadium during this period. As the last time I checked, there is still a ban placed on fans coming to the stadium. So I'm surprised to see that some of these fans at the stadium invading and coaching on the pitch, which is uncalled for. I think it's high time the league management committee that is managing the Nigerian Professional League in Nigeria wielded the big stick. I think maybe by I feel that finding most of these clubs by asking them to pay money and all that is not working. Deducting points will work. That is what I feel. That will cost them. For example, if you deduct 3 points or more, they will sit tight.
Well, Jide Olaniran, sports analyst, very well said. We thank you very much for joining us on News Now and sharing your thoughts on this with us. Well, with that, we'll call it a wrap on our bulletin. Thank you for watching. I am Oyi Adekunle. Bye for now.